Y'all ready for this? Let's go.
Welcome back to the Ben James Smith podcast, where we explore capital, governance, and the principles behind building investment platforms designed to endure. Today we're talking about a word that appears in almost every investment presentation, yet is rarely examined carefully. That word is called alignment. Most managers claim alignment because they share upside, but sophisticated investors aren't actually looking for shared upside. They're looking for shared consequence, and the difference between those two ideas is profound. Segment 1. The comfort of the word alignment. Alignment is one of the most overused words in finance. You see it everywhere. We are aligned with investors. We invest alongside our investors. Our interests are the same as yours. But alignment is not declared, it is demonstrated. And investors, especially institutional investors, don't evaluate alignment based on intentions. They evaluate it based on exposure. What they are really asking is simple. When something goes wrong, who feels it first? Segment 2. Sharing upside versus sharing risk. Let's separate two very different things: participation and exposure. Participation means you benefit if performance is strong. Exposure means you are affected if performance is weak. Many platforms offer participation. Few truly accept exposure. Carried interest is participation. Fees are participation. Reputation is participation. But genuine alignment begins when downside is symmetrical. Because upside creates enthusiasm, downside creates discipline, and investors trust discipline far more than enthusiasm. Segment 3. Why sophisticated investors care so deeply. Institutional capital is not trying to maximize excitement. It is trying to minimize surprises. The biggest risk allocators fear is not loss alone. It is misaligned behavior under pressure. When incentives diverge, behavior changes. Managers protect optics. Investors protect capital. True alignment prevents that divergence. It ensures decisions are made through a shared lens, not what looks acceptable, but what protects outcomes. Segment 4. Alignment is structural, not emotional. Many founders believe alignment is psychological. We care about investors. We would never act against them. We are relationship driven. But sophisticated capital does not rely on goodwill. It relies on structure, because structure persists when emotions change. Good people can make bad decisions under pressure. Good structures prevent them. Alignment, therefore, isn't a statement of character. It's a property of architecture. Segment 5. The behavioral test. The easiest way to identify real alignment is not in success, but in stress. When performance tightens, do incentives encourage patience or encourage activity? Do they reward preservation or reward motion? Structures that reward motion create over-deployment. Structures that reward preservation create selectivity, and selective platforms survive cycles. This is why allocators scrutinize incentives before performance, because incentives predict behavior. Behavior predicts outcomes. Segment 6. Time horizon alignment. There's another dimension rarely discussed: time. Managers often operate on revenue cycles. Investors operate on capital cycles. If a platform depends on near-term transactions to sustain itself, its time horizon compresses. Compressed horizons create short-term decision-making. True alignment exists when both manager and investor benefit from patience, because compounding requires time, and time requires stability. Segment 7. Cosmetic alignment. There is also something we could call cosmetic alignment. It looks aligned on the surface: small co-investment, amounts, symbolic participation, marketing language. But the economic reality remains asymmetric. Sophisticated investors can detect this quickly, because they're not evaluating percentages, they're evaluating behavior under pressure. Alignment is not measured by how things work in ideal conditions. It's measured by how decisions change when they become difficult. Segment 8. Why it matters for enduring platforms. Alignment ultimately determines trust, and trust determines duration. A platform may attract capital through performance, but it retains capital through confidence. Confidence emerges when investors believe the manager will make the same decision for themselves that they would make for us. That belief cannot be marketed, it must be engineered. Segment 9. Alignment creates calm. One subtle but powerful outcome of alignment is calmness. When investors trust incentives, they interfere less, they second guess less, they react less, which allows managers to operate with stability. In this way, alignment is not just protective, it is liberating. It allows long-term thinking to exist in a short-term world. Segment 10. A reflection. If you are building an investment platform, consider this. Are you offering investors a share of success or a share of experience? Because the strongest partnerships are not based on optimism. They are based on shared reality. And shared reality only exists when outcomes are genuinely mutual. Sophisticated investors don't look for reassurance. They look for symmetry. Alignment is not a marketing feature. It is a decision-making framework. It ensures the same forces shape both sides of the table. And when incentives converge, trust compounds. Thank you for listening to the Ben James Smith podcast. If you enjoy exploring the deeper mechanics behind capital and enduring investment platforms, subscribe and follow. More conversations ahead. Until next time, capital flows to opportunity, but it stays where discipline lives. Speak soon.